welcome to the Rick Fuller podcast, presented by Rick Fuller, the team leader of the Rick Fuller team, which serves the San Francisco Bay Area and Sacramento County. Rick and his team have almost 1,000 five-star online reviews and have been honored as a distinguished small business by the California State Senate and Assembly. Rick is a community leader, national real estate coach, and real estate investing expert. I'm Christina Morales, a writer and marketing specialist, and today we're going to talk about how to successfully launch your real estate career. Starting any career can be tricky, so today we're going to share insider tips, tactics, and strategies to get you headed in the right direction. So Rick, I can't imagine anyone better to address this topic. Let's start from the very beginning of your career. Why did you choose a career in real estate?
Oh my goodness, Christina, that was a long time ago. And before I had gray in my goatee, before we launched this, Christina and I were just talking, I finally have some gray in my goatee. And so it's going to be gone very quickly after this weekend, completely knocked out.
Which one of the 3 seasons caused those grays? Don't answer that. Which daughter?
I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer. So why did I start my real estate career? Christina, it was a long time ago. And I can recall my wife, Jennifer, and I buying our first home. It was in Oakley, California. It was a very small home. It was about 1,300 square feet. We were anticipating one of those seasons that you just referenced, our oldest daughter, April, to be born. And we bought a home because we wanted to paint the nursery the color we wanted. We wanted to do some things in the backyard. I wanted to have a home ownership. And honestly, Christina, it turned out to be one of the greatest decisions financially we ever made. We still own that home today. It's paid off. It's owned free and clear. It's a great house. It's a small home, but it's a nice property. And occasionally we'll drive by it. You know how you do, you go down that memory lane, we'll drive by it and see that's where you came home from the hospital and this and that, right? And there's a little park next door and I'd take April down the slide at the park. And it was just a great little house. But the process, Christina, of buying that home was a disaster. Oh my goodness, I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know the language or the terminology of real estate. I didn't understand these things. I was in my early 20s. It was before emails and fax and all that stuff was in your home. You had to go places. So I was constantly at mailboxes, etc., faxing in documents to the lender. I was, as always, at FedEx, faxing or mailing documents. And I just pulled my hair out and I thought, this real estate purchase is such a great purchase. It's such a great addition to our family. And we had the privilege of doing it at such a young age. I want everybody to do it. I was like on a mission, but I don't want them to have the experience that I did. I don't want them to have the process that I did. And so I penciled these words, my goodness, 15 years ago. And I said, I want people to have the kind of experience they'd be excited to tell a friend about. It was before Yelp. It was before Google reviews. It was before Zillow reviews. And I would literally, Christina, I would take a piece of paper and I'd mail it to my client and they would fill out a questionnaire on how their experience. I would take that, I would evaluate it. I would try to become better before all these review sites. Today, we have nearly 1,000 five-star reviews. In the last year we served, we sold over $116 million in real estate. And it stemmed from that very first 1,300 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a little Oakley community.
Well, if you could talk to that guy way back when, what are some words of advice that you would give to our new licensees? What advice would you give to yourself all those years ago? Are there mistakes that you made that you wish you had known from the beginning? Did you have a mentor who could speak into your life back then?
Well, Christina, before I'd speak to him, speak to me those many years ago, I'd slap him upside the back of the head. That's the first thing I would do. Try to knock some sense into that guy. Did we make any mistakes? We made every one of them. All the mistakes, I made all the mistakes. I did all the dumb stuff. I had a PhD in DUMB back then. I mean, we made all the dumb errors that you can make in this business. and we learned. I think the only thing I did different is I just got back up, and every time I reevaluated and I tried to fix it, not do the same dumb mistake again. And if I were to give myself some advice, 15 years ago when we started our real estate career, and I penciled those words, the first thing I would say is you got to have a team. You gotta have a team. Nobody succeeds alone. You go fast by yourself, you go far with others. Life is so much more enjoyable when I get to work with you, Christina, and Joe, and Brian, and Shelby, and Lorenzo, and Julianne. And I shouldn't even mention names because I'm gonna leave some people out, my wife. Like, it just gets so much more enjoyable. I would want to join a team. You know, you think about it, Christina, most people come from an employment background and you switch to an independent contractor. So there isn't the work schedule. There isn't the historic job description. There's not the cubicle or the office cafeteria that we have, right? In the world today, when you're an employee, it can be a lonely place. And all of a sudden you wake up and day number 2 look like day number 1, and day number 3 look like day number 2, and on and on and on. And I always ask people, if you were your employer, what would you do? And they say, I would have fired myself. Because the role of an independent contractor, people could, you know, I always say it this way. In real estate, most people come for 3 things. They come for the fortune, they come for the free time, and they come for the fame, right? They want their picture everywhere. They want it on their business card. They come for the fortune, they come for the fame, they come for the free time. You know what they do, Christina? They take the free time and they leave the fortune and they leave the fame of real estate. They leave it because all they did was take the free time. You got to skate not where the puck once was. You got to skate where it's going. You know, that in some sense, if you don't know how to navigate these markets and the times that we're in, you just go out of business. And we see that with small businesses. Right. And so we navigate our team members. And when this market now arrives that we navigated to, we skated to where the puck is going, not where, guess what? It changes again. And we're looking ahead and saying, where's it going to be in June? And where's it going to be in December? And how about in 5 years from now? What are the opportunities that we need to stay in front of? Because if you're going back to opportunities that no longer exist, you're going back to opportunities that they were there 5 years ago, but they're not there today. There's nothing there for you. The cheese has been moved, and you've got to move where the new cheese is. And that's something that's very difficult to have perspective when you're a solo agent. It is so difficult to have a pulse on the market when you're by yourself. Like when you're the only one doing everything, you see the next opportunity and you just take it. And eventually you find yourself, you find yourself in Wichita, Kansas, instead of in, at the LaGuardia Airport, right, in New York City. And my point is that you've got to navigate the market, and you got to do it with focus. You got to know where you're going and who you are as a real estate team, and what's your unique value proposition. What makes you different than everybody else in the community?